Welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, getting ready to take a look at some of our new Warhammer 40,000 incomings and the Warzone Nachmund and the Chaos Knights. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and warcry content as well. Let's take a look. Warzone Nachmund Rift War reveals the next phase in the battle for Imperium Nihilus. The next installment in the epic saga of Warzone Nachmund is coming soon. Warzone Nachmund Rift War takes the action into the lawless Nachmund gauntlet itself, which is riddled with pirates and raiders of all kinds. There's a lot going on out there, so let's get into it. So we see a new book, Warzone Nachmund Rift War. Pretty cool cover. Definitely got a little chaos action going on there. If you've been following the Warzone Nachmund series, you'll know that Vigilus is one of the most strategically vital worlds in the Imperium. The Vigilus system sits at the far end of the Nachmund Gauntlet, a relatively stable route through the Great Rift that allows aid and information to flow from Holy Terra into the war-torn Imperium Nihilus. By the end of Vigilus alone, we find Vigilus still in Imperial hands, but only just. Abaddon the Despoiler brought a new level of horror to Vigilus, and may have even slain Marneus Calgar into the bargain. But like any good manager, he prefers not to get bogged down in details. Now in Rift War, he's sending Harkin Worldclaimer to seize the Nachmund Gauntlet, cutting off the Imperial Nihilus and Vigilus itself from the Emperor's guiding light. Should he succeed, it'd be a massive blow to the grueling work of the Indominus Crusade. So here's Harkin Worldclaimer slaying a Primaris Lieutenant, probably, or preparing to. He's basically like a sort of like a raptor character. He's pretty cool. He's got like a big lightning claw, a chaos like spear, and then he's got one of like the OG type raptor jetpacks. So cool art for sure. Definitely a cool model as well. So fortunately for the Imperial forces, the Castellans of the Rift are a chapter specifically founded to guard the fleets passing through the Nachmund Gauntlet. These stalwart guardians have called other Space Marines to their aid, forming a group known as the Wardens of the Gauntlet. They're the first line of defense in this new phase of the war, holding the line while reinforcements arrive. Opportunistic factions like the Drukhari are always ready to take advantage, attacking both sides for their own gain. The Rift is also home to the besieged Chaos Knights world that Harkin aims to liberate to bolster his forces. Basically, it's a big mess all around. The very nature of the Nachmund Gauntlet surrounded by violent warp storms makes it all the more confusing. So here we see basically pretty cool looking board right here. It's got like a cool backdrop to it. You can see like a bloodthirster in the background, bunch of knights, a couple like chaos bastions. Sort of looks like a landing pad there in the middle, and then some demons alongside the knight. Pretty cool. Definitely looking nice. It's going to be cool to see the new range expanded. Warzone Nachmund Rift War. It has all the lore and maps you'll need to follow the conflict, plus tons of ways to spice up your games. Along with new Armies of Renown and a Codex Supplement, you'll find a whole campaign system for running the War of Desperation in all modes of play. Using new Alliance rules and Campaign Master Edicts, you and your friends can fight for control of 3 brutal war zones, each with its own special rules and legendary missions. All sorts of narrative content too, from crusade rules for the key factions currently duking it out for control of this embattled region. It's coming very soon. They'll share some more details. The interesting thing they said is along with new Armies of Renown and a Codex Supplement. So I wonder what the Armies of Renown will be. And if you're not familiar with Armies of Renown, that was basically like the, the Crusher Stampede or like Midzilla. We've seen quite a few of them in like various White Dwarfs and whatnot, and some have been very strong. Overall, they've been good. So, interested to see which armies will get some attention there. Very interesting. So, I'm not sure I'm sold on this quite yet. I'll have to hear like a little bit more about it, see what it's all about. But let's go ahead and just transition into another chaos article here we have. Dominate any phase you choose with the new option-packed Chaos Knight kits. So some cool Chaos Knight art right there as well. And here we see one of the new armigers. When you only have a handful of stompy mechs on the board, it's important that they each excel in their chosen role. The upcoming Chaos Knights army set offers you dozens upon dozens of different loadouts for the forces within. Thanks to the flexible build options, you can reign supreme across the shooting phase, the fight phase, or even the psychic phase. So this is the new Knight. This is the one we pretty much saw displayed. Not sure we saw that previously. There's like a little missile rack on top instead of just having the, stubber or melt-a-gun. Maybe just a long-range option. That could definitely be useful. That claw is pretty cool, and then the chainsword is definitely awesome. The head is unique, but I'm interested to see like the other heads that we have. That's a cool little like picture like setup though. As we saw in the announcement at Adepticon, the Wardog Carnivore is a dedicated melee monster, equipped with a Reaper Chain Talon for sweeping away less chaff and the Slaughter Claw for crushing hard targets. Unburdened by ammunition stowage, the Carnivore's impetuous spirit also gives it an extra burst of speed, so it won't be left languishing in no man's land. Okay, interesting. So, because it's just close combat, it's a little bit faster. Yeah, I mean what was the name of those weapons again? The Reaper Chain Talon and the Slaughter Claw. Very cool. So it's like a knight chainsword, similar to what the regular armiger has, and then it's basically like a mini knight power fist. Yeah, I'm really liking this. I like the aesthetic of them. I like that it's a little bit faster, so it can get into combat easier. And then I definitely like the weapons. And, arguably we'll see like a couple different profiles. Oh, nice. Look at that one. For those who prefer unleashing devastation at a distance, the same kit also builds several other variants of Wardog, each loaded with some properly scary guns. The Dog Stalker finds a middle ground by trading one of those melee weapons for the fearsome Avenger chain cannon, and its 12 infantry shredding shots or a tank melting demon breath spear. Okay, that's pretty freaking cool. Middle ground by trading one of those melee weapons for the fearsome Avenger chain cannon and its 12 infantry shredding shots, or a tank melting demon breath spear. So it sounds like it basically gets to keep. I like that head. That's really cool. Again, it has that missile launcher. And then it sounds like it gets to keep either the fist or the chain axe. And then it can take this 12-shot Avenger chain cannon, which is somewhere in between like a Reaper chain cannon and an Avenger Gatling cannon, I imagine. Definitely made for infantry. I mean, 12 shots. I wonder if that's going to be 2 damage per shot or only 1. But regardless, that's pretty freaking good. And then the alternate option would be the tank melting demon breath spear. So tank melting demon breath spear. We don't know what that's going to be, but obviously if it's tank melting, Probably going to be limited shots, but do a bunch of damage. So definitely going to have some opportunities with this kit. And then we'll keep scrolling down here, but it sounded like you could take 2 shooting weapons also. The Wardog Brigand takes it one step further by eschewing blades and claws altogether, packing 2 ranged weapons for a tag team of arm's-length armaments. All 3 variants also come with a classic carapace-mounted Havoc launcher for additional firepower, which can be traded for a Diabolus heavy stubber should the mood take you. So it sounds like the Meltagun's gone for them, or not an option. And then you have a Havoc missile launcher, which is what you normally see on like the tank upgrades, or this stubber. And then on top of that, we have, this looks like the other weapon. So this has got to be the 2 ranged weapons. The Avenger chain cannon and the Demon Breath spear. So the Avenger chain cannon, obviously, we just talked about that, 12 shots, infantry, shredding. And then this spear, Demon's Breath spear, clearly is just like the Melta version of the normal like armature warglaive weapon. So it looks like you could basically build an armature warglaive out of this kit with the Demon Breath spear and then the chain axe, whatever saw. Or you could build a double shooting knight, which would be kind of similar to the other armature. Or you could build the double combat knight, which is not currently an option. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Definitely like the idea of options. This one might go either way, though. We'll have to see how this is. If you can double up on either weapon, which it doesn't necessarily sound like you can. I don't know how great, typically you like to dedicate units, so I'm not sure how great this will be. If half its shots are like to shoot a tank up close or heavy up close, and then the other half are more for like infantry. So we'll see. That's one thing about like the other armature is it has all those autocannons. It can keep a nice distance and rain down some pretty strong shots. But we'll see. I definitely like the new kit. It looks great, and I like the options so far. So, Night Abominants have become so corrupted that they can control the Ematerium itself, manifesting terrifying psychic powers from the unique Warp Storm discipline, which can suffice allies and power of the Empyrean and wreck enemies with the same. They also pack a Volkite Combuster. Volkite Combuster. Okay, so it is Volkite weaponry, which we had discussed, but it's called a Combuster. That's pretty cool. Using technology from the dark days of the Horus Heresy to automize elite infantry and light vehicles alike under a beam of deflagrating death. Coupled with its thrashing electro-scourge arm and nestling flocks of sinister tarot shades, the Abominant is a sight plucked from your nightmares. So the electro-scourge arm and Volkite Combuster. So that is the electro-scourge arm. It's like those crazy like metal tentacles. Very cool. And this is the Volkite Combuster. And it says for, what did it say, heavy infantry or light vehicles? Atomize elite infantry and light vehicles. Very cool. And then the sinister, it says flocks of sinister Turo shades. So those are probably like those crazy birds that we saw as like an option to kind of put like all over the top of it. Maybe they do like a couple extra attacks like against, something that's close by. Kind of go down and try to feast on its flesh. Very cool kit. Very cool kit. So it looks like it's just the base regular kit. And then instead of the regular guns, which would be the big chain sword, that gun that comes with it, and then the fist. Instead of those 3, you'll get the chain whip and the Volkite. And then all the extra like little bits of sprues like accessories. So very cool. Didn't really talk about the actual psychic powers very much, but it sounds like that is the psychic knight. So if psychic powers aren't your style, the Abominant kit also includes all the parts to build a Knight Rampager. Oh, so it includes all the kit. So that's interesting. So the Abominant kit includes all of the parts to build a Knight Rampager, equipped to sunder mortals and machines alike in close combat, or a gun-toting Knight desecrator. An ancient laser destructor, a weapon the Imperium can no longer replicate, gives the desecrator enough firepower to challenge even the lumbering Knight tyrants as it blasts apart heavy tanks in a single volley. So it sounds like it will be this full kit plus the extra stuff. So you'll end up with extra options. So you'll basically get the new sprue with this, and then like the extra little bits and options we saw on top of your regular kit. So that is pretty cool. I like that. I like that. So then you have a bunch of extra parts that you can potentially use on your other like non-chaos knights. And then obviously some diversity, so like no two of them have to look the same. But very cool. I like the idea of the psychic knight and everything. The maddening panoply of options means the Chaos Knights army set can still fill any gap in your existing forces or form a balanced foundation for a new dread household. Crush your enemy under an iron stampede with 2 carnivores and a rampager, or despoil their lands from afar with the Wardog, Brigands, and your choice of Abominant or Desecrator. It also contains a special art edition of the Chaos Knights Codex and a set of data cards. The only place these will be available for some time. I like how they specifically say that at the end, as if we don't know their tactics. The only place these will be available for some time. Some undisclosed amount of time. So yeah, we have seen this Chaos Knights army set. We know for sure what's coming in it. The new codex, an art print, the data cards, one of the new big knights, which can build any of the new Chaos Knights that we just discussed. And then 2 of the new War Dogs. It'll take me a little time to get used to the name, but Carnivores and Rampagers. Oh, no, wait. The Carnivores are the little ones. The Rampagers are the big one. So 2 Carnivores and a Rampager. So currently, the small knights are $80 USD. The big knights are $160 now. You can assume it's going to go up to $170 with the extra sprue inside. I mean, we'll be lucky if it only goes up to $170. But they did just raise it from $150 to $160. So let's say the extra $20 for the sprue and the price increase, etc. So if it's $80 for the 2 little ones, $170 for the big one, that's $250. The Codex is $55. That's $305. The data cards are $33. So that's $338 for this set. So it's probably going to, it's definitely going to be over $200. Probably going to be $225 to $250 for this set. If I had to guess. I would imagine that's what it would be. If they make it $250, it's like you're buying the Codex, the big knight, and the cards, and then you're getting the 2 armigers, basically, included. So, nice set, very cool. Like the idea of it. Obviously we'll have to see on the price. That's full speculation. We don't know what they're going to charge. I would imagine they're going to be the same. The small knights are going to be the same as the armigers. $80 for 2 or $40 each. And then I imagine this big knight, is going to be $170. He's definitely going to be more expensive than the current kit. If you can build the current kit, plus there's more in it. So I would assume it'll go up by at least $10. I don't think they're going to make it more expensive than the rest of the knights. So if all like the Dominus and like the Canis Rex kit and everything is all 170, I think they're just going to make all the big knights 170. That makes the most sense. So probably in the future, you will just be able to buy this kit, and then it will make all 3 of the Chaos Knight variants. The same way that you can only buy like the Canis Rex kit, and it makes all of the regular knight variants. But you can no longer buy like just your basic knight. And then you have your Dominus Knights on top of that, and then you have your different armigers. So that seems very likely. Definitely cool. Definitely excited for these. I love the aesthetic. I love that we're seeing some different head options as well. Really like these. Now I wonder how many head options there will be, because obviously they showed the same one twice right here. And then we saw like the skull one. This one. This is sort of like an animal skull. I would like to see a human looking skull one as well. Maybe one more like mechanical one. I want to say with the regular warglaves, there's like 3 or 4 little options, because it's like one head and then just like the face mask part you can switch out. So, but I do like the extra aesthetic. It's cool that instead of the Meltagun, it's a Havoc. I don't know which one will be better or anything, but just cool that they're different. I like that there's more differences between the Imperial and Chaos. Really like the weapons. This claw looks awesome. The chain cannon looks awesome. The chain sword looks awesome. Yeah, all of them look great. And then this just looks very similar to the current, big boy Melta. But I love like the pipes coming out of like the torso. The chains kind of like chaining the pilot inside. Love the little like claw talon feet instead of like the traditional feet as well. So very, very nice. Very nice. I love all the little details. This looks great. Super excited for this stuff. I do have a couple of Chaos Knights already. So I will definitely be building out my Chaos Knight force. I have my Imperial Knight force is very nicely built and almost completely painted. Definitely could do some more detail work on it, but I have a nice House Raven army. It's 5 knights strong, currently like painted up and everything. Still need to do the basing and some details, but they look really good. So I think if I'm going to do House Raven, I can't remember what the name of it was, but in that previous article they talked about how Be'lakor like kidnapped their homeworld and then like turned it to gas. So whatever that like house is for Chaos is probably the one I'm going to build and paint. So it'll be like the old and the corrupted, like dueling the good and the evil. And then maybe Be'lakor jumps in for a fight here and there. So yeah, let me know what you think of the new models of the kit. Any speculation on, weapon profiles or, what to expect, pricing, etc. What are you interested in? Are you going to be picking up some of these? You're going to hold off and wait and see? Any speculation as to who is going to get the Army of Renown in the new book? That is definitely very interesting to hear. I know there's a couple armies out there that have been struggling a little bit lately, so perhaps we'll see one of them get strengthened. So, but if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and warcry content as well. That's it for today, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.